Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I should actually have said welcome twice. I don't know why I said three times because I wanted it to be like welcome, welcome, and be like,
For the
anyways.
punch.
Let's do that again. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome to another episode.
Like that made a difference. Go.
Like, I made a difference. So another episode. Well, not another episode. Actually, this episode is really, really, really special,
Yeah,
guys.
it's new.
First things first. We should have had balloons and stuff.
Right?
This is our
Honestly.
This is our 50th episode. How crazy is
Pew,
that?
pew, pew, pew.
I feel like I'm going to give a whole speech, so I'm just going to go for it.
Okay, just go for it. I'm holding the mic for you.
Thank you. So I feel so honored
Mm-hmm.
to be part of such greatness. Okay, I'm joking. But yeah, guys, 50th episode. Like, who are we? What is
Yay!
this? Oh my God, Hadia, we miss you as always.
So
I
much.
can't believe like we stayed consistent this far. It's actually
50.
crazy. I
It's
don't know
like
how.
golden jubilee, guys.
Yeah,
Gold.
it's
Some marriages have not even lasted this long.
like it's such consistency because I'm just thinking when I look at a few some other podcasts, I listen to this. I think you also listen to the Receipts podcast. Like they had
Yeah.
their 200th episode last year,
Wow.
and they've been on for like 7 years. So you can just imagine how we've been so consistent in just like a year
Mm-hmm.
and a half for us to have
Yeah.
gotten to 50 already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's blowing my mind. I'm just really, really excited about it. But
And
yeah,
proud. I'm proud of
50.
us.
Yeah, it feels like a new beginning. It is a new beginning, so a few things are coming. I know we've been hinting in the past few episodes that, something's coming, something's coming. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's episode 50. We're so excited. Yeah, isn't here, but she's here with us in something. It's
And I'm sure
whatever.
she listens too.
Yeah.
She's like our number one fan now.
Yeah, so we're so proud, obviously. And then we have like a few major things that we're announcing. But
Mm-hmm.
before I say welcome back and I start saying like the wrong name, the first thing is we changed our name, guys. I don't even know how to like
Woohoo!
I don't know how to announce this because I'm just like, oh my God, what if somebody just stops listening at this point?
Yeah, and
But
they're like, oh
yeah,
my God, I preferred the old name. I
we
fear
changed our
that.
name. Yeah, I know. We'll see. But I really hope it doesn't chase you guys away. We changed our name for like very many reasons. Obviously, when we
Mm-hmm.
started out, we just needed to like get up and start. So we like hustled, we picked a name, which was cute. Actually, I thought
Mm-hmm.
this she
There we go
sessions.
again.
Exactly. It's one of the
This
reasons
was
why
one
we're
of the
changing the
reasons.
name. So the She Sessions was such a cute name. And I think again it was an era. It was a really cute era.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to be called. Do we need a drum roll?
Yes, I can do one. I wish I could do it with the pod track, but I can do it with my mouth, right? Like,
Ah,
it's
you can do it with
okay.
your mouth.
Okay,
Yeah, let's
drum
go.
roll.
Yeah.
Announcing.
So we're now the Two Cents Podcast. Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome. Again, me, Rufaro, and ChatGPT have been like working overtime, like trying to decide what sounds nice, how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Two Cents kind of really summarizes everything about us. First of all, we're
Absolutely.
now two co-hosts, so it makes sense. Another thing is just we're constantly sharing our opinions on many different topics, which we believe you guys love. So it really just summarizes what we do. It's also quite cutesy. And we're just like, new era, new name, something that's easier for everybody to pronounce.
Mm-hmm.
And something that can also pull, everybody in so nobody feels like excluded from the podcast. I have some male friends that listen to the podcast, but I feel like sometimes they're a little bit shy because
Yeah, same
the name is
actually.
the She Sessions.
I've had a person actually say to me, "You have a girl podcast. Only girls should
Yes,
listen to the
that's
podcast." I'm
so
like,
silly.
"No, it's
It's for
just the
everybody.
name."
Yeah. So again, now we want everybody to feel included. Not like we care. Well, we do care. We
We
do
do
care.
care. We care about y'all. Don't
If
listen
you
to Barry.
listen,
We care about
if you
y'all.
if you listen, we care for sure. So yeah, so Two Cents podcast from now on. This is episode 50. So for us, this is a major milestone, a new era, a new beginning, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the previous 49 episodes still count. So
Absolutely.
if you
The
haven't
she
listened to any
sections
previous
counts.
episode, please go back. There's so much. I'm
Yeah.
going to even be referring to some of them and in this episode. But yeah, but Rafara, how are you feeling?
Girl, I
I
have
want you to
mixed
also,
emotions.
yeah.
So many mixed emotions. Like you say, the She Sessions was our baby. It was
Mm-hmm.
Hadia's baby to begin with. I don't know if you guys have been
Yeah.
listening from the beginning. We kind of did a story where we like talked about how the She Sessions was born. It was first of all Hadia's baby, and Hadia kind of reeled me into it. And then Hadia just created the whole dynamic and brought Mariam into the whole thing. So Hadia brought us
Yeah.
together quite literally.
Quite literally,
And even back then, it was Hadia, Mariam, and I, and ChatGPT to come up with a name. And we had this. So shout out to ChatGPT, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to ChatGPT, yo.
Yeah. So I mean, just that whole thing to finally be here. I am
Mm-hmm.
super proud, first of all. I'm very proud of us because, like I always say, I mention this ever so often that for me, the most proudful moment about this whole thing is we are just nobodies on the internet. So to start a podcast and to actually reach the level we have reached, for some people it may be nothing, but for me, it's such a proud moment because I'm just like, from people who are not known by anyone on the internet, we are nobodies, they're not influencers of
Mm-hmm.
any kind, any
Exactly.
sort, but to actually be where we are right now, because guys, maybe to you the numbers are nothing, but we have over 1,200 streams on our Spotify. And it's only on Spotify that I'm talking about. And you, we have
Yeah.
YouTube as well. We have,
Yeah.
oh, now Apple Podcast is also coming. But for me to
What?
have people listen like over 1,000 times,
Yeah.
1,000 times, like people are listening to our podcast over 1,200 times. I don't care if it's the same
Yeah.
person replaying the same. It's just something. So I'm really proud. But at the same time, I have a bit of a heartbreak to say, we're letting go of our baby, man. Like, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
feel weird, of course. I'm pretty sure with the first few episodes after this, it's gonna feel very weird to not be saying welcome to the She Sessions podcast and not
Yeah.
having the biting of the tongue, saying C sections and all those things. It's gonna be very, so yeah, I have mixed emotions, but generally I'm very happy. I'm very proud of us. And I'm very excited for what's to come because we have so many
Yeah.
new ideas, Mariam and I, and I just can't wait to be tapping into that energy, be working hard on this, and actually see where it comes, where it
Yeah.
gets to. And yeah, I'm just so happy, girl. How are you
Yeah.
feeling?
Yeah. I'm definitely excited. I would say that. Like, I'm definitely excited. It says mixed feelings for sure because I'm just like worried, like, oh my God, what if, it could easily go left. Like,
Yeah.
rebrands are not an easy thing.
Mm-mm.
So it could easily go left. But I think it's also kind of needed. Like you said, it was a mouthful. So something much easier is kind of nice. And I think you can
Mm-hmm.
easily run with what we have now. And it really just fits to like it fits into almost any type of situation, which I really like. But yeah, I'm more so excited. Like I think for me, the biggest thing is this episode 50, which is to me such a huge milestone.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we're even still excited to do this after 50 episodes,
Right?
that part, like, right? And that's
Yeah.
like a year and a half. And I think if I had to tell anybody one thing, start today. That I know it sounds very cliche, but start today because like before you know it, you're a year and a half in and 50
Mm-hmm.
episodes. It's actually really crazy. Yes, we're not like like a huge podcast or anything like that. But like you said, we have like consistent listeners, which is crazy. We have
Mm-hmm.
all those amounts of streams. We keep growing and we obviously find it fun, right? And we're also like
Mm-hmm.
developing a friendship of our own alongside the
Yeah.
podcast. So it's
That's
just
been the greatest part of it, in my opinion.
yeah,
It's
it's
like
just
you
such a
get to know a
nice
person in a different light, but also
exactly.
in a very exciting light. So sometimes even
Yeah.
when we have different opinions, I'm just like, I'm so happy to know this part of you, as my co-host.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's very lovely. And for me, it gives me this feeling of I'm glad when we have different opinions because who also have different opinions, our listeners. So I really love when
Exactly.
we are able to create a dynamic way part of our listeners are agreeing with what I'm saying and another
And
part is
then
agreeing with what you are saying. It brings balance. I love that. And to be doing that 50 episodes later, I agree
yeah.
with you. You're
It's
you're
it's
you're
very
right.
nice. It's such a cool feeling, and I'm really excited. I'm excited for the future because I feel like there's still so much that we're gonna do and we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, again, if you guys are here, we really appreciate it. And we promise to keep, pushing as much as we can. Again, we're still human and there's still life,
Yeah.
but as much as we can, and as long as life allows, yeah, we're
Hmm.
definitely really excited to keep creating and doing this for you. I guess another thing that's like new, if you're like listening to this episode or maybe watching this episode, is that we actually have video today.
Like, look at me, I'm a blondie.
I know. First of all, Rafari looks amazing. I already told her this. Like, she looks so
Thank
cute.
you. I feel uncomfortable, very
Why?
uncomfortable. Like
No,
I
you
was
look so
telling you before
nice.
we started recording, I'm not a blonde girl. Like even buying this wig, it was such a brave moment for me because I always
Yeah.
buy, even with braids, I always
Oh
do
my God, you
black,
should send me the
deep
link
brown.
because I'm
I
also like
definitely will.
I'm very scared of color, but
Yeah.
your wig looks amazing.
Oh, thank you,
So
girl.
yeah,
So I
we
was like,
have
I'm not gonna pump out a lot of money. So I just was like, 20 something bucks is okay for like,
20
you know,
something bucks.
yeah, on
Wait,
Ali.
really?
Yeah, it's
I should
available
please
on
send me
Shein as well. I definitely
the
will,
link,
girl.
yo. You guys
I
know me and my cheap
will.
ass.
It's synthetic, by the way, to anyone watching. It's
No,
synthetic.
but it's
I
so
wasn't gonna
cute.
do
It's really,
human
really
hair
cute.
with
No,
like
it's really,
an
really cute.
experiment. Oh, thank you, girl.
Yeah, but again, today we have video. We're just trying. Again, it's not anything fancy, but we're like, we have to just push ourselves and do this.
Hmm.
And again, you guys also know we're a remote podcast, so even our setup is like, different and everything. Yeah, like a lot of new things. So it's just really exciting. It feels very fresh. It feels very, just exciting overall. I think that's
Yeah,
my biggest emotion today, excitement.
that's
So
good. I
yeah.
love it. I love it.
Yeah, love it for
Man,
us.
we're here 50 episodes later. So
You
surreal.
know,
It's
love
so
it for
surreal.
us. Yeah. Um. Well, today's episode is going to be, I'll say, it's going to have multiple parts, but same theme. Kind of want to throw it back a little bit to our very first episode. So if you're an OG here, you can probably guess. But our very first episode, one of our more popular episodes, which was us talking about moving to Germany and like what that was like. Actually, I think we did like a few episodes around that, like culture shocks and just everything we experienced, like coming into a new culture, and a new environment. We're not going to go into all of the details, but if there's somebody, if I'm going to ask you, if there's somebody that is listening to this and is, recently just there thinking about moving to Germany, what would you tell them?
To Germany. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but also low key not because this is something that I always say to people close to me. Like, I honestly, well, maybe because I'm here now, so maybe I would, but I've always said I honestly would not advise, especially if a person has options, I honestly would not advise a person I truly care about to move to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And again, maybe it's just based on my experiences. Obviously, I'm here now. I'm still trying to carve out a life for myself, but the journey has been so stressful and so hard. And I cannot
That
imagine a
part,
person
yeah.
I care about having to go through the same things that I went through. But then again, like I say, maybe they don't necessarily have to because I'm here, so I can kind of guide them. But yeah, if you're looking to move to Germany, what can I say? Obviously, the first major thing, we've mentioned this in previous podcasts, the language. There's no way around it. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even more beneficial to have even the slightest knowledge of German from your home country before you actually come here. Because
Mm-hmm.
you can survive without it. Obviously, in bigger cities, your Berlins, your Colognes, your Frankfurt, München, Hamburg, whatever. But just the knowledge of the language makes life so much more easier than without. So, because trust me, getting by is not nice. Because it means everything you want to do, you have to look English speaking doctor. You have to look for a translator for whatever, whatever. So obviously the language. And we've
Mm-hmm.
mentioned this in another episode as well. Be prepared for the moody ass weather in this
Mm-hmm.
continent because
Yeah.
the weather, it was the biggest culture shock for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the weather can change 3 times in one day, that kind of vibe. And
Yeah.
especially if you're coming from a sunny country, from an African country, Asian country, somewhere where it's more sunny than here, you definitely have to prepare yourself, not just clothes wise, like fashion wise, mentally as well. Definitely have to prepare yourself. I even mentioned in a previous episode that the way I survived my first winter in Germany was I kept telling myself it could get worse than this. It could get worse than this. And by the time I knew it, was already March,
Weather was
April, and it
changing
started
again.
getting better. And I was like, so the worst is actually over,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And regardless of where you're coming from, just also be prepared for, I'm gonna sound mean by saying this, but Germany is a very backward country to a certain degree. I'm saying it like this because I don't know any other choice of words I can use. What do I mean by backward? It's like what you would expect before you're here is not what you're gonna get. There's a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of paperwork, and I don't mean paperwork isn't just having to sign
Cash
stuff and
is
send it via.
king.
Cash is king. You still have
Sad
in the
as
big
it is.
2025
As sad
places
as
that
it
say
is.
cash only. You can only pay with cash. It's like that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of bureaucracy. You have to be prepared to buy folders to store actual papers because it's actual
indeed.
papers you need. Opening your letterbox is a very normal thing. So I open my letterbox every day because receiving letters is still very
Even
much a thing
twice
in
a day.
Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fax is still a thing. It's like email. No one told anyone that email
We're
can also
stuck
be
in the
used.
1980s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of vibe. So you kind of have to be prepared to go back in time for a bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, just general etiquette, throw it out the window before you come to Germany. I don't think it's something people are generally taught either by their parents or in school. You will be stared at a lot. If you look remotely different, it's not even about just your skin color. If you just remotely look different to the average white person, you'll be stared at a lot. They don't
Hmm.
care. Even if you catch them staring, they'll still stare. Like they want to
Yeah.
stare into your soul. General etiquette, people will blow their noses on the train. Do not scold them. It's very normal in this
Yeah.
country. Just any general etiquette rules that you know, just be prepared to set them aside and accept a new norm
Yeah.
because it is what it is. And I don't know, in everything, I think mentally you just have to take your whatever you've been taught, whatever you know, just turn it a whole 180 degrees and just treat this new transition as it is, a new transition, a very new transition. Like
Yeah.
just expect everything to be new and very foreign. But yeah, you we talked a lot about Germany. That could also help if you go listen back to some of our episodes.
Yeah. We do.
But what about you? What's like your top three, top four, or even top five that you would tell a person?
Things out. I think for sure I'll talk about the weather because of like it just really gets to you. Like be prepared for
Mm-hmm.
winter, not just physically but mentally, but physically especially because I feel like the physical part helps. If you're
Yeah,
prepared physically, then it could really help make the mental part
yeah.
easier. So definitely like, get your boots, get your jacket and get stuff that works. Like it's not about fashion. Forget the fashion girlies. Focus
Mm-hmm.
on keeping yourself warm. Like that part can be overstated, right? So I would say
Mm-mm.
you definitely prepare for winter. So if you're thinking about it around this time and you're going to be in Germany anytime from October to like March of next year. I really think, research on how should I dress and what do I need? Like get your thermals, get your jackets, get everything. Again, after some time it changes. Like for now, I can't imagine wearing thermals. Like it's so icky for me. But that's
Yeah,
after all
depends
these
for me.
years. But for me, I really like I get it gets how it is once you have it on, there's
It's
nothing you can do
itchy.
anymore. So once you're too warm, you can't do anything about it per
Exactly.
se, right? So that's why for me it's like I don't wear thermals anymore, but I layer up instead of layering under.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but do your research, get everything you can get. That'll definitely be one thing. Another thing I'll say is or something I'm learning, right? So you're gonna come culture shock for sure. Like so many things will be different. The way Germans act, like some of the things we were saying. But then I think maybe have a more open mind. So for some people, it's like, oh, Germans are da 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 da. Like
Mm-hmm.
Germans are, not friendly, or Germans are. I think one way you could look at it that would make it easier is imagine if when you come into Germany, somebody told you to forget everything about your culture and just
Mm-hmm.
act a certain way. That would be weird, like, right? It would be a bit weird and it would be a little bit unkind. So a kinder way to look at it is this is just how they are and that's their own culture, right? And then anything you can do to just kind of manage it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that you don't feel too uncomfortable is what I would do. Now I can't tell you exactly what, because again, like we talked about our own experiences. For me, it just fazed me a lot and I was just like, oh my God, they're so this and they're so that. But
Mm-hmm.
again, if it's their culture, do they necessarily need to change it just because I wanted to move here? I don't think so. So I think it's a thing of getting informed, like research as much as you can so you have enough information so that when you're in a situation, it doesn't phase you as much.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just find your way to navigate it. Because the truth is, I don't think it's a kind thing to ask them to change just because you're here now. Do you know what I mean? And it goes for all of us, right? That's one way to look at it. There are some other parts that are more complicated. I know I've kind of oversimplified this, but that's
Yeah.
one way to look at it. Another thing is there are fun aspects as well. So, like, for instance, if you're coming in the winter, it would be great to kind of participate. So, like, when Christmas market comes around,
Oh
try
my
to
God,
go out. Yeah,
yes.
like, so
That's my
do some of
favorite time during winter.
exactly, do some of the fun things so that it doesn't all feel so depressing. So if you like for me, I discovered Christmas market in my first winter here and I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely loved it. And just try stuff. I think that there are some people that don't like trying anything new. I don't know if that's you, then it might be a bit difficult. But if not, try stuff and see. You don't have to like everything. You can try, the Vost with Burchen. If it's your thing, fine. If it's not, it's also okay. You can try I forgot what it's called now. I was about to call it mall wine, but not mall wine. What's it called?
Glühwein.
Glühwein.
Yeah. Glühwein. I
Yeah.
love
So you can
Glühwein.
try Glühwein, and if it's your thing, fine. If it's not, that's also okay. You don't have to love it, but I think it'll be nice to try it. It's also a nice way to meet people, maybe. I don't know. Would you meet someone in Christmas market?
Let me think.
I don't think it's set
I
up like
mean, I
that.
think now I'm too Germanized for this
Mm,
because when I go to the Christmas market, obviously I'm with someone,
yeah, your
but I
people,
do
yeah.
have instances where I actually say like post to people on the little table next to us and whatever. And I've
Mm,
never had a weird experience where a person would just stare me down or something. So if you
yeah,
then want to pursue something further, you can then go ahead and form a conversation,
yeah.
because I also that's one thing I really hate how, and I think maybe I've also kind of portrayed that same picture, but maybe over like exaggerated it. But Germans are not as unfriendly as media makes them out to be. Not
True.
really. Or maybe it's just
Especially
my
in social
experience in
media,
like
yeah,
larger cities.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yes, they can be somewhat cold, but in all honesty, the coldness is usually at first glance because there's times when I notice that this person, they're just sitting there, maybe they're even staring and it's unfriendly, of course. But like I
Yeah.
said, it's just etiquette rules that they never were taught or anything. They just
To
don't
not
know. No
stare,
one told
yeah.
Germans staring is rude. Etiquette is a thing that really doesn't exist in this country. So when they do
Yeah.
stare, it's not like, so of course, sometimes it's with malice and with like bad intent and whatever. But I've actually had instances where someone is just staring at you and you think, oh my God, they're just staring at me like weirdly. But then when you do engage them, the face changes. They're just
Mm,
their normal self-friendly selves. And
yeah.
people have portrayed that you can't really do small talk with German. I do small talk every time. Maybe I'm now
Yeah.
this person who confidently forces small talk, but it's really not as bad
Oh
as
my
it's
God, I have a weird
portrayed.
story. Honestly, I think that is good for you, but I find that you can't actually do small talk with Germans. Let me tell you
Not
something
all the
weird.
time, of course, but
Let me
yeah,
tell
go
you
on.
something weird that happened. Like is it up to a few months ago now? But in July, we're in
Mm-hmm.
August, so it's just last month. I went to a wedding.
Mm-hmm. Like a German wedding.
Well, one of the people getting married was German, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a wedding, and well, half German, half Nigerian, but grew
Mm-hmm.
up in Germany, so I'll call him German.
Mm-hmm.
And so someone I knew was getting married. That's the guy, and then he was getting married to a Ghanaian lady. This is hilarious. I'm so
I'm
sorry,
not
but
ready
I
for
was just
this.
okay. So I think I've talked about in previous episodes that some of my family, like I have some German family
Mm-hmm.
up in Hamburg. So, like I said, one of them was getting married. And again, I've been in Germany for almost 10 years now. Again, if you've been listening, you know that already. And over the years, obviously, there's been a lot of like things, right? Somebody's getting married, someone's birthday,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So I'm always like involved in any of the like family events. So there are a few people that I've met, consistently for years, right? When I say people, I mean Germans, white Germans, because again, because he's half
Like
German,
trad.
he has the white side of his family. So I've met them consistently over a couple of years. This particular time was a wedding last month, and I was sat on a table with some faces that I knew and some that I didn't. And I was right. opposite from someone that, again, like I said, I've met consistently over the years. Not that we necessarily banter, but I know of the person and they also know
They
of
know of
me
you.
because we've met consistently for a couple of years. And right next to the man was a lady. And so this person, just for a little bit of context, I don't want to go into it too deep. So he is like the uncle of the person I was getting married, who's my cousin, but uncle from, like I said, the white side.
Mm-hmm.
And I've met him. He has two daughters or three daughters, like teenage daughters. I've met them as well consistently. This particular time, he was sat with a lady, and his daughters weren't there. I was just like, they were there. I think they started saying something, and I was like, oh, they were being nice. Let me just engage. So first, I was like, oh, hi, how are your kids? So I was talking to the lady, and she was like, she looked at me like she had no idea what I was talking about. So like, oh, and I was like, oh, like the girls, and she was like, oh, yeah, those are not my kids. They have nothing to do with me. Those are his kids. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, when you want to sink into the ground, I was like, oh my God. Like, all I had to do
Like,
was
earth
mind my
open up
bloody.
right now and
Yeah.
swallow
I was
me.
like,
Like,
all I had to do
yo.
was mind my business. But I had to do this bloody small talk. I was like, I can't even do small talk with German. Like, that's
Nah,
how they.
but honestly, she was just extra for no reason because
No, she
that
wasn't
whole thing
really
was
extra. It
unnecessary.
was so, and because it was
It
like
was
on the,
so
there were
unnecessary.
people
Like,
sat next to, because she now made a whole thing, and there were people sat next to me, people sat next to them. It now became a whole thing. And then I was talking, and then I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, and he was like, the guy was like, it's fine, but she had like a lot of attitude. And then, so he was like, they're fine. They're not here today. Apparently that was like a girlfriend. Apparently he's divorced. I had
mm-hmm.
never clocked that. Like, I know I had always seen him and the girls. I had never really clocked that. I never saw him with a woman. I don't know. I was just like,
So it was so unnecessary. Even if she wanted to point out that she's got nothing to do with those
yeah.
girls, she could have easily like just said, "Oh, they're fine, but
Oh my
they're
God.
really
And
just
you
his
know, like,
kids, you know."
I was just like, why do I, and
Why?
what was even cringe was, apparently the guy who we've met severally over the years had no idea who I was. So that
Hmm.
was another thing. Yeah. And he was like, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's fine. I was like, I'm the cousin that, came to study in the South. He's like, oh, that, yeah, then he was like, oh, I know. Oh, but apparently he didn't know my face.
Mm-hmm.
I've literally met this person, like I said, consistently,
Nah, she
at
was just
least
unnecessary.
5 or 6 times. And I was just like,
Why?
all I had to do was not say anything or
But
try to
that's the
do
thing.
any stupid
I think
small
for
talk.
me, it's like for me with small talk thing, and it's something that I'm now consciously doing. Like I just
Hmm.
started recently because I just really just did a hard reflection. Like I just had
Mm.
a reflection session with myself. I was like, dude, you're changing your whole character. You're changing your because I was telling myself, if the Rufaro I am now, if I go with her to Zimbabwe, I'm going to be the weirdest person who's coming from the diaspora. I'm just going to be this uncaring person. I was like, no, I need to work on
Yeah.
myself and be my old self. Small talk is a very normal thing. And I find so I also kind of like do an energy read of people. It's difficult to do, of
Hmm.
course, but I feel like I've kind of mastered it. I can kind of tell who I can engage, who I cannot.
The thing, I don't think with Germans, it's not AO because these people, they were
It's
in
not
a very
easy.
light
Yeah, it's not
mode.
easy.
Like they
And
were
like
in a
you're
very light, that was the only reason why I
yeah.
engaged. Like they were in
And
a
it's a
very like
wedding.
light
Who's
mode.
salty at a
Yeah, and they
wedding?
were they were actually talking and even saying stuff. And I was just like, okay, I'm really literally sat in their faces, and
Mm-hmm.
he knows me, I know him. Well, I thought he knew me. Let
Hmm.
me just engage. I was just like, oh my God, all I had to do was
Nah,
keep
she has personal
quiet.
problems, that one. But
Yeah.
honestly, guys, I feel like just try it out. Just try it out. Like, it's okay to also just try it out. If they're mean, they're mean. I think if in that situation, I would have just been mean back, like, or just made her uncomfortable. You want to make me uncomfortable? I'm making you
Oh my
uncomfortable.
God,
I'll
and
probably
then
just pass
I
a
know
comment like,
like
oh, that's a weird thing to say, and just keep it moving.
it was actually very weird. And I
I would
actually
say it.
now started looking like I noticed her like, you know, being very weird like throughout the rest of the thing. But that doesn't matter. The point
Hmm.
is be careful with your small talk because it can
Nah,
go
don't be careful.
that
Just wing it.
was the point. But that was really funny. I was just like, oh my God, why did I
That's
have to
so
say
weird.
anything?
That's so weird. I'm
Yeah.
different now. I do small talk even on the train. So I'm always reading if I'm riding the train. And when
Mm-hmm.
I see other people reading, it's usually also like middle-aged people to older people because the younger
Yeah.
generation doesn't like books for some reason. But I always make small talk surrounding books, to even
Yeah.
say, "Oh, what are you reading?" kind of vibe and stuff. It's so far it's been nice. But then again, maybe it's because I'm mostly in Cologne, Düsseldorf, and the people this area are just lighter
Yeah, the people
generally.
in
They're
your
just
in your area are
lighter.
very light. The people in Frankfurt are
Yeah.
also kind of like I think maybe that's the thing. I think Frankfurt has changed me so much that I
Mm-hmm.
sometimes forget that people in Hamburg are just
Nase
trash.
hochnäsig. What is it called?
Yeah,
Oh, can
Hognesi.
she say trash? Me, I'm trying to find a more suitable word.
No, okay, I don't mean it like that, but like I think I said it before. Like, for me, the worst Germans I've met were in Hamburg, and like I could never. You can't pay me 500 million to live there. To be honest, like I could
Maybe it's
never
the
go back.
weather.
Yeah,
Maybe it's the
it's
weather. You've
definitely the
told me the
weather.
weather is trashy
No,
all
although
year
this
round.
particular person, the man, I think the woman was from Hamburg, but I think the man lives in Cologne, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
again, he was friendly. He just didn't remember me,
Mm-hmm.
according to him. He was friendly. He didn't have any attitude. It was the lady. She was just
Mm-hmm.
like, I have nothing to do with those kids. I was like, that's
Just
not even a nice thing to say
unnecessary.
to your
Nah,
dates about your dates'
nah.
children. And he just smiled. But like, yeah, again, Germans in Hamburg, anybody moving to Hamburg,
You're
yeah,
brave.
yeah, good
Let's
for
start
you.
there.
I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you. But yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah, do your small talk. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, I think one thing I've also learned over the years is when these things happen, it says more about the other person than it does about you. So you're
Yeah.
gonna feel the embarrassment for like 2 minutes and you'll be fine, right? Eventually it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a story that you can tell. Yeah.
Like now.
Yeah. And I think there's something like you said that was actually also very interesting for me about like noticing that Germans themselves could like I can't say actual Germans, that's a very wrong thing to say, but Germans themselves, I notice these days, and maybe it's also because of time, maybe it's where I'm based.
Mm-hmm.
If you go close, they're not so bad,
No,
right?
not really.
And like you said, sometimes somebody might be staring maybe just because they are genuinely just curious or
Mm-hmm.
fascinated. Again, staring is a weird thing sometimes because when you go close, you notice that they actually want to make conversation or,
Mm.
want to actually get to know you a bit better and things like that. I find that what I'm finding these days is, and I think you were just telling me something about the DHL.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you can tell that story. But what I'm finding these days is sometimes, in some cases, the people around the Germans, the other people, are sometimes the people that I'm actually having issues with. I don't
Mm.
know if that's also
Mm-hmm.
your experience,
True.
but
True.
sometimes like this becomes my experience.
I find that to
But
be very true.
yeah, sometimes so I'm just like, why? And why are we acting like this? Do you know what I mean? And I don't know if it's like a racism thing. I don't know if it's like it's just I find like more and more this is now my experience, which always weirds me out.
I think for me, especially being specific to Germany, right? I feel like for Germany, when it comes to like the Germans, I'm just gonna call them trad Germans, so
Hmm.
your typical Caucasian, born here, bred here, ancestry is here. Those kind of Germans are well, the ones with sense, obviously. We are still the human race. There's stupid people, there's weird people,
Yeah,
and there's also just normal people.
yeah,
So in this case, I'm just talking about the normal people. I feel like the normal trad Germans, and I've had conversations like this with some of them, of course. I can't find a better word, but I'm just gonna say the word. They feel they have a very shameful history, and of course they do. A lot of them are very ashamed of their history, such that sometimes they overdo trying to be nice to everyone else who's not
yeah.
German.
That's a good
So they
point too.
try to be, yeah, they try to be extra. I mean, sometimes they miss because they haven't gotten to a point where they are truly educated about what's racist, what's not, what's acceptable in this day and age, and what's not. It's a lot of change happening to some of them at once, but they will be trying, right? I give credit to that. So they try. So, for example, when that kind of German person is being racist towards you, it's not blatant racism. It can be packaged differently. But with these other people who are not trad Germans, so I'm just going to
Uh-huh.
say people from the European countries who maybe were born here or they immigrated here or their
Yeah,
ancestry is
exactly.
not here, but they are Germans to a certain degree. even if you share the same kind of history of like you are first gen, second gen immigrant, or whatever, and you're also
Yeah.
German in essence, they will still always try to look down upon you because for them it's like the closer you are to the trad German, the closer you are to whiteness, the better you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't care
It's
what
like
your paper says.
remember our Auslander House episode? It was like there were a
Yeah,
lot of what you just described in the people that
yeah.
were singing Auslander House, and you know you're just like,
You're not even trad yourself. So it's people like this that feel like and it's really a personal thing. You feel inadequate in a certain way, which is weird because why is being not German inadequate? Like you're a human being,
hmm
just be normal. So it's
yeah,
almost like they have told themselves they're inadequate in a certain way by them not being trad German, but they tell themselves they are better than you because to a certain degree or based on something they have convinced themselves of they feel like they are closer to being trad German than you are.
I
So maybe
see.
because of skin color in this instance, they are closer to being trad German than you.
Yeah, or maybe
Maybe
the way they
because of
speak
them coming from
German or
Europe.
this and that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
My
see what you're
ancestry is
saying.
in this continent. Your ancestry is in
Yeah,
Africa. So by
yeah,
proximity, by geography, I'm better than you because I'm still closer in proximity to trad German than you are,
yeah.
which is very, very weird. So the racism from those kind of people is usually very blatant, very hurtful, and very malicious as well. So and it's very weird because I've seen a lot of people talk about this. Apparently, there's a word used. I don't know if is Turkish a language. I don't know, but like a language, a Turkish language, definitely. There's a word that they use to refer to people with darker skin, and they use it and try to claim the word to not be harmful.
It is,
Let me
right?
think of the word. I've forgotten what the word is. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, please comment it because I'm very forgetful with this word.
hmm
So they try and say it's not harmful. It's not like the N word, for example, but it's like it's still a nuance where it's like using the word farbig if it's
Mm,
German or using colored if
hmm
you're an English speaker. It's that kind of word.
Yeah,
And they try to normalize that word using it for black people, even though people who actually know the Turkish language have come out to say this is not okay. It has the
yeah,
same font size as the word colored. It has the same font as the word farbig or the
yeah.
keine Ahnung, things like that. But they still insist on using the word, that kind of
Mm,
thing, because for them
yeah,
it's always like, if I'm not that, I'm better than you. And
yeah.
it's weird. It's really weird. That's why I always say it's a
Crazy.
weird thing to say, but I always say I prefer racism from a trad German than from these other people. Because even when trad German is being blatantly racist to me, I have a lot to say. I have a lot I could say to them than with those other people. But
Yeah.
it's just a weird dynamic.
And
It's
just really
it's it's weird.
uncomfortable, but yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Again, it, I just again not to scare anybody, right? Truth is, I think is what most people are sensitized to the fact that you just kind of have to pick and choose what's evil, right?
Hmm.
So there's so much rubbish in the world, right? So obviously you trying to leave your country is because there's some rubbish going on there as well.
Hmm.
So you kind of just have to pick and choose and be okay with it. To be honest, like I said before, way more good than bad, or at least let me not say way more, but at least more good than bad, right? If not, we won't be here.
Yeah, wouldn't.
I think that's one of the things that I would say. So it's just about being intentional about navigating it. Unfortunately, you're going to have to learn to just block some stuff out with your battles and
Yeah,
stuff like that, which it's all right, right? Again, most of life, like I always say, is just everyday mundaneness, and that's still going to be your life, right? And then you have to deal with all the nuances, all the
of
microaggressions, and all
course.
of these things. I think you're going to experience more microaggressions than you actually do experience racism,
That's
well,
true.
I thought blatant racism. So maybe prepare yourself for that more, especially if you're coming into like a work context. It would be interesting to get someone on that moved for work, so moved and went directly into a work environment. So for us, for
Yeah.
instance, we did other things before we started working. So for me, like I studied, for you, you also studied your au pair experience as well. So I'm just saying it would be interesting to get someone that really just went into like a 9 to 5 and what
Especially
that,
corporates. I would be
yeah,
interested also in
yeah,
just hearing corporate
what that
lifestyle
experience,
because I
yeah.
hear it's brutal.
Yeah,
Corporate Germany
really?
is brutal.
I actually thought like it would be maybe better.
You
I don't
think?
know.
I mean, it's brutal if you're coming like as a
I
new
don't know.
entity, moving
Yeah,
from your country to
yeah,
come
most
into
from your
corporate
country.
German. I hear it's brutal. I don't know. I just see people
The
talk about it
people
on social
I've
media.
met, they always seem like they're having like a fantastic time. So
Really?
that's why they're not being honest about the experience. But everybody I've met is like, no, it's really cool.
But also, one thing I've also noticed, and this is something that I
Yeah,
always say to with people who are still new in Germany, you don't know the language that much that well. I even say, even now, sometimes I miss the time when I did not understand the German language that deeply, because a lot of things would just fly over my
fly
head.
over your head. Yeah,
It literally would just fly over my head and it would not affect me because I didn't even understand the
yeah,
microaggression. I didn't even
yeah.
understand the racism
Oh my God, do you know the
because
first time
now
someone said,
everything.
yeah, the first time someone used far big around me, I didn't know it was like bad. So, like, I, how do I even tell this story?
Mm,
At my previous job, which was in Hamburg, obviously,
mhm,
I was one of just a few black people. Actually, at the peak of it, we were just three black people. So there was one other mixed girl. She's half Portuguese and half Angolan. So there was two of us, and then there was an intern. He was from, I can't remember. The thing is, he's German, so I think he was
mhm,
born and raised here, but his parents were maybe Ethiopian. I can't remember, to be honest. But again, to me, he was just German, right? And he used to get
mhm,
along with the other kids because, that's what made more sense. He was nice, obviously, but he got along with the Germans more than, he would get along with me because it's just
mhm,
very different context. Um, so he was doing an internship for just a few months. And one time I was talking with one of our colleagues and I can't remember what I was asking. And he said, "Oh, do you mean the Fabrica?" I was like, again, that's the thing. And that's what I'm saying. It actually did go over my head because I thought about it for a minute. So what I thought was, this is what they use instead of saying Schwarz, because maybe Schwarz is offensive. I actually didn't know, like, that was just not allowed, apparently. And that's what he called him.
but people
I
say
was
it all the
like,
time. And I'm just, so it's for
it's
non-German
crazy.
speakers, the word Farbig
Yeah.
is
It's
directly translated colored.
colored, yeah. And I don't know, like I found out now, obviously in retrospect, I'm like, why would he say that? And to my face as well. Do you know what I mean?
And
But
that's the
yeah,
thing,
then
people don't even see it as wrong. There are people in this big 2025 who still
yeah.
insist. So there's these chocolates to non-German speakers. They're like marshmallow filled chocolates and they're like flat on the top. So now they even make them with white chocolate, but the traditional chocolate was with
Hmm.
like normal chocolate, milk chocolate or dark chocolate or whatever. And the name of the chocolate was N-word küssen. So they were changed. The name was then changed to Schoko küssen. And there are people in 2025 who still insist on calling them N-word küssen.
Like spelled the same way.
Yes, like
Really?
literally, you can bleep this out. Like literally, küssen they are called. Yeah. And there are people who say, yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that because the N word in this instance is not used as a derogatory term. It's just what it's been called. People are too sensitive. I'm just like, how is this a discourse in 2025? So trust me, there are people who definitely believe using the word colored
Crazy,
is very
crazy,
normal.
crazy,
And
crazy, crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is what we're saying. You kind of just you have to block out the nonsense. That's the thing, unfortunately.
Mm,
Always stay in your country if you prefer. Like because unfortunately, I think we've learned it over time. Is the world isn't going to change to please us. Unfortunately, again,
mhm,
obviously, I'm saying it's not like it's a good thing. It's not, but it's just kind of our reality. So it's gonna happen. But I'll say for the most part, it's more so microaggressions that you would experience than blatant racism because that exists too. Like I have my friends have been
mhm.
spat on, called
What?
names. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would be
Yeah,
in prison
Hadia,
for smacking
actually.
someone.
Yeah,
No,
when we were, yeah, yeah, when we were in Dessau. Because,
I would have
yeah,
loved for her to share the story on here.
yeah. I'm sure she hasn't. Yeah, she had been spat on. Was it her or if it wasn't her, then it was, we had
The other
another
girl.
friend.
Yeah, 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 I
If it
remember.
wasn't her,
I
then it was,
remember.
yeah, if it wasn't her, then it was the other game. One of the two or both of them. But yeah, they were
Damn.
spat on, once. Insane.
But don't
Yeah.
let these stories scare you. Honestly,
Yeah.
Germany is not as bad. Like Mariam
Yeah,
keeps
that's
saying, we
not
wouldn't
every
be here if it
day.
was that
No,
bad.
that's not
But
every
also, you
day.
have to acknowledge these stories are not unique to Germany, anyways. Anywhere you go,
Yeah.
racism still exists, and people are still weird and
Yeah,
put mental health on top of that, and then they're even weirder and more racist.
exactly.
It's just what it is. And also
Yeah,
be prepared to go through the motions. You have phases where
yeah.
everything's flying over your head, right? And then you start understanding the language, you start understanding things, and you just become this angry person. And you feel
Mm-hmm.
like every battle that's in front of you, you must fight, fight, fight. You will go
Yeah.
through that, but also be careful to be stuck in that phase where you're always fighting because it is daunting. It
It
is
is. And it changes
draining.
you. I think like what you were saying. Then don't let it change you. I think for sure. Because that one is because you have to live with yourself. So if you let it
Yeah.
change you, it's I think that's where the depression can now like come in. So like what
Mm-hmm.
Rufara was saying about I don't know if it was in this episode or in the previous episode, um, about, just wanting to bring back a part of yourself that you actually
Mm-hmm.
like.
Yeah.
You don't want to get to that point where you lose it and you start looking for it again because it's not the easiest thing actually.
Mm-hmm.
So just try to preserve, people will be people. I think there's that part. So just try to be authentically yourself. Don't let it get you too upset. Something that can help is building, finding your community, finding your people as quickly as possible so that
That
you
is the
can
most,
just
forget
yeah,
everything we said.
yeah.
This part right here is
Yeah,
the part.
find it. And so at least it helps you. You can talk about it. You have people that you can,
Mm-hmm.
that understand. Definitely don't isolate yourself from your people because I see that a lot. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
not smart. I'm not going to force anybody to, if you're black, be friends with black people. I wouldn't force you, but it's just not a smart thing to do
Mm-hmm.
to isolate yourself from your own community. So find your community, find your people so that it makes it lighter. So when you realize we're all going through the same, SHIT, yeah, it becomes like, okay, it's not us, it's them. So it's fine.
And also, it's very
That
easy
really
to become
helps.
lonely in this country. It's very
Yeah,
easy. It's the easiest thing to just
yeah,
slide into this loneliness and actually
hmm
be comfortable in your loneliness. It's very easy.
yeah.
So making friends, you have to force. Also, making friends is not easy. Go listen to our friendships episode. Making friends in this country is not easy. Even friends from your own
No,
country, because
it
guess
can be
what?
easy. Just don't be like me though.
Don't also be like me then, because making friends is not easy. Also, you have to
Yeah.
understand that some of the people you are encountering, they have been changed by this country already. So imagine
There's
meeting
that as well.
2024 Rufaro, and 2024 Rufaro would probably not even be ready to befriend you. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
that
you
that
also have
part,
to
like,
kind
yeah,
of,
the way I used to
yeah.
approach people before and now, like, these days, I'm just like, I'm not excited. I'm like, cool,
Mm-hmm.
nice that you're here, but I'm not, before I used to be really giddy to just meet, especially if it's black people, like, oh,
Yeah.
I met this girl.
Yeah.
But now I'm
Now
just
it's just
like,
like,
it's
whatever.
cool. Hi, 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 hi. But again, we're also trying to change that. This is the thing. It's not great that we're here. So we're also trying
Yeah.
to
It's not
change
set
that.
in stone.
Yeah. So yeah, it's there's a lot of fun things, and then you can look forward to summer, and there's just so much to do in summer. There's so much to do, so much to see. Travel, travel, travel. I think that's one of the fantastic things about being in the Schengen area. You can go to so many places.
Yeah.
And yeah, just enjoy it, really. Enjoy it. Again, I think this episode is more positive than our previous Move into Germany episode. I
Right?
hope. I hope.
I love the growth. I love
Yeah,
it for us.
definitely it's giving growth. So 50 episodes later and our perspectives have changed a little bit, which is really cool. Yeah, there's a lot to do. And listen to the podcast. We'll also always try to put out tips on what to do and what you can
Yeah.
see. And when we are able to, we'll also do like meet and greets in different cities. So maybe that can also pull people together and like-minded people as well. Yeah.
And write to us, even privately, like privately
Yeah.
on our Instagram, on our private Instagrams or private.
Yeah.
Only for me, I must give a warning though. If you're a man, be careful before you write to me. Like, don't just say hi, Rufaro, and end it there because I'm not going to reply. You say, hi, Rufaro, my name is blah, blah, blah. I need blah, blah, blah from you. No, I'm just saying, I'm
Yeah.
being for real.
No, but facts though. Anybody that I actually absolutely hate when someone says hi and it's like, do you know how
Like,
awkward? Even people I know. Do you know how
yeah,
awkward?
just
Just say
hi.
what you wanna say.
Yeah.
Just say what
If
you
you want to
wanna
do small
say.
talk, at least say hi, how are you? Because you say hi, I'm just
Exactly.
gonna say hi back. I'm not gonna be bothered to say how are you. You didn't ask how I am. You clearly don't care, so I don't care too. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah. All right. I mean, we've been going and going. We wanted to end this episode in a bit of a fun way, so you guys can get to know us a little bit more, especially if you are just discovering us because this is now video.
yeah.
we're gonna do a get to know us round. Actually, we're also going to do a like us getting to know each other round. So
True, true.
we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna ask a question and Rufara is gonna guess what my answer is, and I'm gonna guess what her answer is, and
So we're
she'll
answering
ask
for
some
each
questions.
other,
Yeah, so
basically.
we're answering for each
Okay.
other. So
Yeah.
the first one is actually like a basic one.
I'm so nervous.
What's your favorite color? And I'm gonna guess first. So here's my
Okay.
thing. Let me tell you guys a small backstory. Last year, I
Mm-hmm.
was in Rufara's place,
I know where you're going to. I knew.
and she had like this like shelf or rack of clothes, and everything was like brown and neutral. I was like, "Where's all the color?" And
In
everything
the
was brown.
wardrobe.
And she was like, "No, she's in her brown and neutrals era." I'm like, "That's so interesting." But you know the thing is, Rufara, if I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
guess your favorite color, I actually think how will I put it? You look like someone that actually likes like bold color.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I saw that, because I'm tempted to be like brown, but I'm like, no,
Mm-hmm.
especially looks like someone that likes something, bolder than that. So I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say purple.
You know what? The thing is, you're right in both instances because for
Okay.
me, color. Okay, I was gonna say my favorite color is based on where am I. So my favorite color around me
Hmm.
in my house, for example, is different to my favorite color when it comes to clothes. But when
Hmm.
it comes to clothes, yeah, my whole life my favorite color has been purple, even though I don't wear it as often now.
What I was
But
correct.
as a girl, my whole life as a girl, my favorite color has been purple. And now my
Interesting.
favorite color is brown, actually. Yeah.
So you know
Yeah.
the thing. Let me tell you guys why I picked purple. So I have a sister, one sister, and swear to God, you give me a lot of vibes that my sister gives me. And my sister's favorite
Really?
color is purple. That's the only reason why
Wow.
I said purple. That's just actually the only reason why I said
Wow.
purple.
I need to
But that's
meet this
crazy.
girl.
That is crazy. Like every time I'm interacting with you, like you kind of like you give me a lot of vibes of my sister, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
that's actually
yeah. And that's why I was
cute.
like, you look like someone that likes a bolder color, and
I
yeah,
actually do.
purple.
I
Okay,
do.
was right.
I
Oh my
love
gosh.
purple. Okay. Now I feel
Okay,
like I'm gonna do a bad job at this
let's
because
see.
how were you spot on and I'm just gonna mess it up. Your favorite
Let's.
color? Let me guess. Because I've been to your house, but also your house doesn't
No, you
give,
can't
it
tell.
doesn't sell you out.
No, you
And
can't
also
tell
you have
from
a
my
partner,
house.
so maybe some things are for last touch and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a color I think really, really, one color I think really looked good on you that you were wearing whenever we met. Like all
Yeah.
the times we met, one color that really stood out on your skin was deep pink. That
Deep
video of
pink.
you in that pink shirt,
Interesting.
that's my favorite color on you, and I hope it's on
Okay.
your spectrum. But other than that, I think you also really like black.
Okay. So in terms of dressing, I do wear a lot of black. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm always in some type of mourning. But I wear a lot of black, but no, black isn't my favorite color. And pink is actually also not my favorite color.
See, but I
That
thought
part is
I
that part
looked
is
it up.
interesting. I've never been I mean these days I wear pink a little bit because I think I'm kind of forcing myself to. But
Yeah,
pink
you
isn't
mentioned
a
it even
color
when you were
that
wearing the pink shirt. You said you were
yeah.
bringing black color, blah blah. I
Yeah, I
remember it
kind of
really
forced
looked good on
myself.
you.
It's like an
Yeah,
effort. No, I'm very boring. I think you should always think what's the most boring thing. Yeah, my favorite color is green.
green. I
It's
would
very
never have
random.
thought. Which shade of green?
Actually, almost all the shades. Like I like different types
Everything.
of green, but if I had to pick
Wow,
like a mint or like a sage, I thought that's the most boring thing.
sage is good.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I never would have thought. Now I learned a new thing. Like,
yeah.
okay,
It's green
cool.
or brown. Like brown, I love browns, like and neutrals, but it's
Hmm.
green or browns. To be honest, like you said, I think it's more so as a like growing up at my teenage years. These days, I don't think I have a favorite color. I just like what looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, green, if I had to pick. It's not
Hmm.
something I've also
Okay.
thought of in a long time, yeah. But yeah, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll let you
Okay, my
ask.
turn. My turn. What is your dream holiday destination? I am going to guess. I don't think it's in Europe.
I feel like I've said it. Yeah, it's
You have?
definitely not. I feel like I've said it, but it's
Mm-mm.
definitely not Europe. So you're already on like the right track.
I'm gonna make two guesses.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess an African country where you can do a safari tour, like a really good safari tour. So I'm gonna say maybe
Mm,
Kenya. Out of Africa, maybe let's say you don't strike me as a person who's really interested in Asia. I'm gonna say
interesting.
Australia, maybe.
What? Okay, I mean, I'm not that boring, but
But Australia is not boring, girl.
okay, true,
Australia
true,
is
true, 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 true.
interesting.
Okay, for the Kenya one, I think that one is definitely true because, like I said, I think I
Okay.
had said before, like I've been very curious about South Africa, so I always just wanted to, like,
Yeah.
I always just think safari in South Africa, but now I want to do the one in Kenya. Fala has been twice, and he really likes it, so I really want to go. But that's not like the one country I want to go to is Japan.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, Japan. May I ask why? Why Japan?
Um. I think obviously that's part of it that social media influencing me. But like I've always it's very dreamy or like I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
everything I've seen about Japan is very dreamy. I like I was gonna say I like Japanese food, like I'm so cultured. I like sushi. That's about
Mm-hmm.
it. Um
Wow.
yeah, so Japan. Yeah.
And you also don't hear much about Japanese people being problematic when it comes to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
racism,
But
discrimination. They
I've
really
heard they're
just
very racist though. I've heard they're very racist.
like very like Chinese level. Yeah.
I don't know what Chinese levels are, but I've heard they're very racist.
Chinese level is like they will record you in public,
Really?
like they're seeing some animals in a zoo or something. And
Oh
there are
my
so
God.
many videos that exist of this. So if you feel
That's
like you're going to call me out on this, I'm not lying. I've seen videos
yeah,
of
that's so
them holding their
crazy.
phone like they're recording some zoo
That is so
animal.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. But yeah, there's just
Okay.
so many interesting things. And then these days on TikTok, I like stumbled upon like black creators in Japan and
Hmm.
black creators that record business black business owners in Japan, things like that. Like I just find it so
Interesting.
fascinating.
Okay.
Yeah, if I have money, that's the first place I want to go to. But
Cool.
Kenya is like high up on my list, so you were right for that one.
All
For
right.
you,
You're
oh
never
my
going to guess
gosh,
mine. It's too simple, even. Like
really?
I'm gonna give you get two guesses. I also two guesses, but one of them I know you're not gonna get it. It's too simple for you to get it.
Okay, let's see. Okay, then it's given Europe, so it's somewhere in Europe then. No? Okay. Oh my God, the US? Okay. I was scared. I was like, oh my God.
Girl, just guess. Don't.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm also gonna say Australia then.
Okay, that's one.
That okay. Or Nigeria. No. Okay.
Oh, you took your two
This is
guesses, girl. You're wrong. You
okay,
failed.
I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. All right.
Okay, interestingly enough, both
Yeah.
my holiday destinations are in Africa. Both of them.
Okay.
Yeah. The first one is right in my country, and I don't know why I've never been, but there's this place called Vumba Mountains in Zimbabwe. I've only seen it on
Interesting.
video, on pictures. I'll send
And
you a
you've never
picture
been. Okay,
when
yeah,
we're
please
done.
send it. Yeah.
Absolutely. It looks so dreamy,
Yeah.
and it's definitely my holiday
Yeah.
destination. And then the other one is Seychelles. I just
Oh, that's
want
such
to
a
go to the
neat man.
Seychelles.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just really
No,
want
but it's
to.
so
It looks
beautiful
dreamy
though.
on social
Yeah,
media,
it's
and
so
I'm just
dreamy. Yeah.
curious to find out if it's that dreamy in person as
I
well.
think it
And you
is. I
never
think
hear
it is.
anything about the people from the Seychelles. Are they?
Yeah.
You don't even see them on social media. You know
Yeah.
how there's hashtag Zimbabwean TikTok, hashtag Nigerian TikTok,
Mm-mm.
hashtag
Yeah, they
Malawian.
don't do
You don't see
drama.
hashtag Seychelles TikTok. So I just want to go to
Yeah.
the Seychelles,
Okay.
definitely.
That's a good one. That's a
Yeah,
really good one though. Okay.
yeah. I'm Pan-African like that. Doesn't mean everything else I don't want to see. Of course, I want to see the rest of the world, but like I
Mm.
really dream when I do have money, my dream is to really explore Africa before
Yeah.
I
Oh my God,
explore
I
anywhere
really want
else.
to go to actually want to go to all 54 countries because it's
Yeah,
not even a
same,
lot. That's the
same,
thing. I
everywhere. I
want to
want
go
to
to
go
all 54
everywhere.
countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
I think you already answered this. What is your go-to comfort food? I'm gonna guess
Food.
first.
Okay.
You kind
Let
of
me,
said you
because I'm
like
thinking
sushi,
which one?
but then comfort food. Okay, what's the
Comfort
context you're
food.
taking? Comfort food. We can't. So it's not like the food you order in a restaurant. It's like food you easily make at home. Okay, I'm gonna make two guesses. One guess will be a Nigerian dish, and one guess will be like a generic dish.
Okay.
Comfort food. I think you like. I think you like your jollof rice.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, jollof with. You strike me as a chicken girl, roasted chicken.
That's more by like condition, not by choice.
So not comforts? Okay, second guess.
Mm-hmm.
You like rice dishes. So be it fried rice or just rice with
Mm-hmm.
stew or whatever. So
Yeah.
like a quick dish.
Okay.
I'm wrong
Yeah.
again.
No, it's No, the thing is, you're not wrong because I also have to think about it a little bit. So comfort,
Okay.
because the comfort thing throws me a bit. So do I like rice dishes? Yes, ish. Rice isn't like my favorite thing to eat, to be honest, and definitely
Mm-hmm.
not jollof rice.
Really? Oh my God.
No, I like because I like sauces. That's why I said the rice isn't the main thing. For me, it's the sauce I'm eating the rice with. So I kind of like plain rice with like different types of sauces. Like I would
Mm-hmm.
even eat Nigerian rice and stew before I eat jollof. Like
Really?
jollof
Okay.
isn't it's nice. Like again, and my mom makes amazing jollof rice. I
Okay.
don't make amazing jollof rice. So jollof is just not high on my list. It's cool or whatever, but I can't do without it. But yeah, I mean rice will become popular because like you said, it's easy to whip up. But like rice
Mm.
and sauce, what I typically do is rice with like bell peppers, like a bell pepper sauce. I just chop it up with
Mm.
chicken and then I make it stir fry. And that's what like I guess that would be my comfort food. But yeah, so rice is
Okay.
correct. Just not jollof.
Okay.
For
Good to
you,
know.
oh my God, I feel like it's something from your country now. There was one time you explained like your version of fufu, but then I wonder if it's like complicated to me.
Like
Okay,
we
I'm
call
gonna
it
go with
sadza.
what do you call it?
Sadza.
Sorry, say that again.
Sadza. So SADZ.
Okay, salsa. Yeah, so I think that's your comfort food, but I could be wrong. Am I wrong? Okay, it's second guess. I'm actually thinking, what have I seen you eating? This is complicated. Comfort food. Would it be anything European?
Yeah.
Then
Mm-hmm.
pizza.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then
No.
I'm also guessing.
Okay. You're definitely correct with sadza. I love sadza
Mm-hmm.
with so many things actually because you
Oh,
can
yeah.
eat it with so many things like a sauce or
Yeah.
so for me with sadza it's always a question of am I eating with something traditional or
Yeah.
something just normal
Yeah.
and boring. But yeah, I do love sadza.
Okay.
And I like pasta. I'm a sucker
Well,
for
I don't know.
pasta.
When I see pho, I keep sucking to my head. But pasta, obviously.
I love
Yeah.
pasta. You know, on my lazy days, I almost always have pesto in my fridge. On a day where I
Yeah.
don't want to cook, I would just boil
Yeah, you
pasta
just
and
do your
eat it with
pasta.
pesto and I'm
Yeah.
good. So I
Okay.
love
That's an
pasta.
interesting fact. I mean, I like pasta too. I'm also on that spectrum, but I think I eat rice more than I eat pasta.
Hmm.
But this
Yeah,
is
it's almost like
interesting.
that. You're either a rice person or
Yeah.
a pasta
Pasta
person,
person,
weirdly
yeah.
enough. I'm a pasta person, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I
That's
think
an
this is the
interesting.
last question. Second
Yeah.
from
So
last
let's do one
question.
more. Okay, let's second to last.
What's one thing your co-host always complains about? I
Okay, let
don't
me
know,
see.
girl.
I know referral is simple. You always complain about men.
For shame, Mariam. For
I bet.
shame. That is so
Oh,
true on point.
yes, it's simple.
No,
It's
because
men.
men,
It's always
man.
the men.
Men.
So you guys need to do better so that referral can stop complaining.
Honestly. For you, wow, now that you were so spot on, I think maybe really one thing that you always, I could say maybe either weird encounters with people or like German bureaucracy.
Yeah,
Or is
I
there
mean, I
something
think it's
else you
correct because
complain about?
I was actually I thought you would say Germans,
Oh, no, no,
but
no. I take it back. I take it back. I take it back. I have the perfect
yeah,
answer.
which
You
one?
always complain about how shitty pregnancy is.
But yeah, that one for sure. Yeah, that's the answer.
When the opportunity is there, Mariam will tell you how
Yeah.
shitty
No,
pregnancy
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. That one, yeah, nothing tops it. Not even Germans. Not
She
even
loves her kids.
Germans.
Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
Mariam loves her kids, but
Yeah.
she's said if she could have
Pregnancy
them any
is,
other way without getting pregnant, she would have.
yeah. Okay, so that's, yeah, correct answer. I wouldn't even have guessed it, but you're definitely right. Yep, yep, yep.
Last question. If she wasn't in Germany, where would your co-host be living?
That's a good one.
Mm.
Oh my God, no, this is tricky.
I
I
feel
was
like
gonna
mine is
say,
so simple.
I was gonna say Zimbabwe.
Yeah, where else?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like,
Zimbabwe.
girl, it's definitely Zimbabwe. It used to be the
Yeah,
US, but that has
yeah,
changed
yeah.
that changed years
Zimbabwe.
ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, I think it's not Nigeria. I know that much. Is
Don't
it?
overthink it.
Really? Is it
Yeah,
Nigeria?
it's
Oh
a
my God. I love the fact that we love our home country inside
yeah.
and
No,
out.
if it's not Germany, at this stage in my life, like I can't do anywhere else. Like I
Yeah.
can't go and start learning the dynamics of another person. If it's not Germany, it's Nigeria. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We
This
got
was
that one
fun.
right.
This was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. This was fun. Yeah. Okay, guys. I guess that is the end. It's actually a little bit of a long episode for us, but this
Yeah.
is the end of the episode. We said welcome to Two Cents Podcast. It's still the same thing, just
Pew,
better.
pew, 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 pew.
Like, share, subscribe, follow. We'll share details of the new name and the new handles in the description, and you'll probably also see it on social media when we post some of our clips. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you're new here, welcome. We hope you stick around, and we look forward to
Mm-hmm.
catching you guys in the next one.
Bye
Bye.
bye.